Oh boy, nightfall approaches. Old Jin has a brainstorm, drags the coffin to Anila and visits the closed little temple. The temple keeper saw Old Jin's donation and immediately agreed to stash the coffin in the storage. Just to be safe, Yearling surrounded it with sticky rice and added some horse's blood, because you can never be too careful. When the employer's aunt arrived, she was like, "Why is there an extra coffin in my father's grave?" After Old Jin's grinning, Aunt showed a photo of her dad with a Japanese, mentioning Feng Shui Master the Fox. This reminded everyone of the employer's dang words about the fox cutting the tiger's medicine. Now that the fox is a Japanese Feng Shui Master, what does the medicine mean? Auntie asked Old Jin to dispose of the coffin and settle the payment. They first performed a ritual for a snake, then planned to cremate the coffin next morning. Old Jin learned from the temple keeper at lunch that grave robbers once stayed here. Those robbers wanted to dig up an unnamed tomb up on the mountain, but got caught by the heavy guards, and boy, did they leave in a soy. The stuff the robbers left still hangs around the temple today, but Old Jin thought, that unnamed tomb is creepy enough. They'll just deal with the coffin and be done with it. But asleep, the apprentice dreamt the temple keeper was on him, grinning, organ stolen by a monster. A sleep paralysis nightmare. The apprentice hastily wrote a scripture to lift the curse. Uneasy, he sought the temple keeper but found him missing. Alarm struck. Something's wrong. He quickly woke Yearling to check the coffin, only to be grabbed by his deceased grandma. Grandma gestured not to enter, boasting she was the shaman who'd care for Yearling after death. They arrived at the warehouse to find the coffin lid pried open. Seeing sticky rice and horse blood scattered, they concluded the Zongzi escaped. Yearling spotted the temple keeper's body lying next to the coffin and urgently told the apprentice to call Old Jin while he kept investigating. He found a samurai helmet in the coffin and saw a shadow by the door. Cautiously approaching, he encountered a giant over 2 meters tall. "Hey, that's right. I've got a secret code." Yearling tried to chat with the Zongzi in Japanese, but ended up getting played. When Yearling looked up, he saw the Zongzi up on the roof. Realizing this dude was gearing up for an attack and bolted out the door. Hearing the noise, the apprentice rushed to the Zongzi with an iron rod. It was clad in armor, towering and strong. He was freaked out. The apprentice thought to himself, "What do I do?" Before Yearling could react, the Zongzi had already subdued him. The Zongzi's claws reached into his abdomen, leaving Yearling in shock. Just as it was about to pounce on Yearling, the nearby pagoda suddenly caught its eye as it glanced upward. Then it clasped its hands and began reciting scriptures. Before long, flames erupted around the Zongzi. When Old Jin and the alchemy master arrived, they were left speechless. The Zongzi transformed into a fireball, swirling in the air, as if looking for its big boss. After chaos, the fireball zoomed towards its target. Seeing the apprentice still alive, everyone rushed him to the hospital. The doctor stabilized the apprentice, but he needed monitoring due to organ and spine damage. Upon hearing spine, Old Jin glanced at the wall and realized the border between North and South Korea post-WW2 is the human spine. Old Jin immediately drove to the little temple, eager to rummage through the grave robbers' loot. He found a notebook on Feng Shui and in it, a photo of the robbers with Iron Blood Brigade, our land, our comrades written on the back. After reading the diary, Old Jin discovered they weren't grave robbers, but patriotic Feng Shui masters. He realized the true meaning of the fox cuts the tiger demon. He returned to the ancient tomb, seeking nails or swords, but heard a bang, and the Zongzi reappeared. Thankfully, it was daytime. The Zongzi couldn't do much. Back home, Old Jin started to connect the dots. He said when Korea was united, the map revealed the tiger's path, and the golden tail on the tomb was its spine. The Japanese fox Feng Shui master had stuck a nail in the spine to doom the whole spirit of Korea. The Iron Blood Brigade hid in the temple, uncovered the fox plot, waiting to pull the nail. Zongzi's mission, got it. Old Jin stated that if they couldn't extract the nail, the divided Koreas would pay a price for future generations. He vowed to pull that nail. In that case, the Zongzi guarding the nail would just vanish. Old Jin's determination made Yearling and the alchemy master struggle internally before deciding to join him. Yearling said even though the big Zongzi would be tough, he had a way to delay it for half an hour. For safety, Yearling drew gold lines on their faces to fend off Zongzi. In the evening, they tossed fish loved by Zongzi into the wooden pit as bait. At 2 a.m., a giant hand shot up from the wooden pit and snatched the fish. Soon after, the Zongzi crawled out, happily munching on the fish. Meanwhile, Yearling lit the prepared mugwort. Stuffing the mugwort into the old tree, smoke spewed out, instantly turning it into a mini volcano. As the Zongzi slowly approached the tree, it first caught sight of its helmet that had been dropped in the temple earlier, and shortly afterwards, it heard Yearling's voice pretending to be a tree spirit, attempting to engage in conversation with it. Old Jin and the alchemy master had arrived at the wooden pit, ready to dig with all their might. Through talk, they learned the Zongzi was a WW2 general who slew thousands. The fox pieced his body to make him invincible. They strung the body together with countless samurai swords and dressed him up, transforming him into Japan's strongest Zongzi. The nail they were after was actually the sword stabbed into the Zongzi's body. The employer's grandpa was buried here just as a trick by the fox to confuse future generations. After half an hour of digging, they still couldn't find the nail and checked on Yearling. Old Jin remained hopeful. At that moment, Yearling's delaying tactics had been seen through by the Zongzi. Just when he thought he was done for, Grandma suddenly appeared, and Hugh Illing used her power to make a hasty escape.